Peace and blessings, my beautiful people. Happy Friday. Like here in Bridgeport, Connecticut, it's super rainy and whatever, but it's such a beautiful, like, just life experience right now. I hope that everyone is feeling encouraged, like I hope that you're feeling like the reality that you want to live is actually really possible. I hope that you're able to see how if you just take certain steps, you really can create the life that you've been dreaming of. And I I repeat sort of the same messages over and over, and I just don't know how to get them to be um any more real. Like I try to give it to you in a practical way, in a way that's not promoting a fantasy but rather encouraging a different reality. And I feel like when we talk about things like stay woke and the human consciousness has fallen asleep and the sheeple and things of that nature, I really don't think that we understand how real these things are and how serious these things should be taken. Because the humanity in itself is bigger than we seem to perceive. And I think that because of that, it's tainting our human experience. We are all a part of each other. These separate categories and labels and things that have been created are man made. However, that doesn't speak to the energy that truly does exist between all of us. And a lot of times when we talk about people who are servicing humanity, doing things to really help improve our human condition, they get looked at as like, oh, those people are doing a great job, or the work that you're doing is so great, but I don't care enough to actually do it, or I'm not called to do it. And what's interesting is that, like, I wasn't necessarily called to do it either. It's just I recognize that I am a part of this human family because I'm here on earth as a human being. It doesn't matter. I'm not any different than an Indian person. I'm not any different than a Chinese person. I'm not any different than a white person. I'm not any different than the next black person or Salvadorian. Like, we're all a part of humanity on this planet. Like, yes, we exist in different cultures, we speak different languages. However, all of that is based off the same thing, which is where the first human being was found, which is Africa. So it's like at the end of the day, we all know this information, but it seems as if we're choosing not to apply it to our lives. And because we're comfortable, but complacency is not going to help us correct the problem that we have caused. Like, yes, you may have been born, maybe 50, 60, 28 years ago. However, you are part of a bigger picture that has been existing for quite some time. And for a long time, like, I've had this question of, when did humanity fall asleep? Like, when did we become so evil? When did we become so violent, and why? Because at one point we were existing harmoniously with the planet. We were working with nature. We were living amongst nature, understanding that we are nature, that we are a part of the whole energetic thing that's going on in the universe. Like, we're all a part of this mass consciousness. And I just never understood how we could allow ourselves to continue to do damage amongst something that is our home. Like, the planet Earth is our home, and whether we chose to be here, we were placed here. I think that it's interesting that we have these different religious stories that also were created from humanity, but we don't really have a true understanding of what the human experience and existence has been like, like, because the timeline that we're told doesn't really make sense. Like, we can't just say, oh, we started with a big bang, and whatever like, what caused the big bang, like, there was something that happened before that. And even so, monkeys still exist. So how did we evolve from monkeys? Like, that didn't happen, that couldn't have happened. So we've been lied to about, or not even lied to, we just haven't been informed on what our true human history is. And we can't tell it from just one side of the story so that it benefits another group. That's completely not a unified human experience, way of doing things. We have become very left brained. We have become a male dominant society and culture as a human family, and that's inaccurate. We find pride in saying I don't give a fuck. We find pride in saying like, oh, I don't care, when it's like, what kind of insensitive robot are you that you don't care and that you're blocking your feelings and you're blocking your emotions? That's not human nature for you to exist in that way. To be able to thrive, to be a creative, to do whatever emotional expression that you have, that's a natural way of being. And unfortunately, the world that we live in has taught you differently, but that's not natural. That's not even, and I know it doesn't feel natural to you. And so the more that you decide and consciously choose to be authentic, to be who you are, to not sugarcoat and hide, because at the end of the day, if anyone doesn't like what you're doing, it's a reflection of them. As long as you're not harming anyone, as long as you're not bringing more negative energy into our consciousness as a human family, I feel like you need to do what makes you happy, and not disregarding others, not shitting on others, like truly giving and loving and vibing with who you are so that you can contribute to a better world. Like at the end of the day, no one's coming to save us. Jesus was a representation of what we could be and what we could get to. Christ consciousness is a real state that we could exist in, and apparently we have existed in. I'm doing a lot of research right now on human history, and it's turning out that, like, in Egypt, when you have the Sphinx and the different statues of the different pharaohs and things like that, these were actual people who were actually 15 feet tall. Like, there used to be giants that existed on this earth, and they were representing different, basically different areas of consciousness, different dimensions that they were existing in consciously, and a lot of people are vibrating at a very low frequency, and in turn, that's not helping humanity evolve. And so at the end of the day, you, just like me, just like anyone else, is a part of the responsibility of helping us improve and correct the damage that we have done. If you don't have that feeling of responsibility inside of you, you need to check yourself and figure out why you're so cold-hearted and you don't care about the rest of the human family. That's what it is. We are all human beings and we are all here, and we all need to help raise the vibration so that we can exist in harmony. To continue to live in war and destruction and fear and chaos it's not normal. It's not healthy. It doesn't even make sense. And so just like we understand that, I don't even know how to put it in a more simplistic term, but that's just it, in my opinion. Like, we all have a responsibility and a duty to help improve our human family. If you don't see yourself as a part of the human family, you come talk to me and let's figure out what part of yourself is blocked to where you don't have that connection. I understand that you've been hurt. I understand you've been lied to. I understand that, you may not trust human beings. It's perfectly fine. I don't trust all human beings either. However, I know that I'm doing the work that I need to do so that we can all come together and start to heal those areas of ourselves that we have damaged within ourselves. It's not any one person's fault. It's all of our faults. We are all held accountable for the condition that we are living in, even if it's something that we have inherited. And I'm not talking about on the level of slavery and racism and whatever. I'm talking about at a higher frequency of human consciousness. That's where I'm coming from with this conversation. So I really, really hope that some of this resonates with you. And if it's something that you're interested in, if you want to talk to me more about it, if you want to do more research on, and you just, whatever the case may be, I feel very, very strongly about this. And my belief in it is much more solidified than I feel like it ever has been in my journey. So please send me an email, mufasabastet@gmail.com, if you're interested in life coaching, if you're interested in figuring out how you can contribute to the work that is being done, how to raise your vibrations, and any of that. Please send me a message, mufasabastet@gmail.com. Otherwise, check out the other posts that are on the website, mufasabastet.com. And I definitely look forward to hearing from you. Stay woke up out these streets, y'all. Like, don't be asleep out here. Stay woke. There's a lot of shenanigans been going on, and just stay woke up out these streets. I love you so much. Enjoy your Friday. I'm not going to be posting any videos over the weekend. I'm probably just going to chill and vibe with my empresses, but you'll definitely see a couple of videos being uploaded today because I got some content for you. So I love you so much. Enjoy life.